imagine the day when the Browns may be like
So I call them the millennials.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, the Browns are absolutely.
Hey.
The Browns are the favorite to win. Steelers lost Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. Ravens lost their whole defense. The Browns just got, and who knows what Kareem Hunt plays, but they got Kareem Hunt too, and OBJ, and his buddy, right, his teammate from LSU. Are we still going to hate on OBJ? Former Giant. Do you hate him on as a Brown?
Why would you change it?
Jeff Clay would like to tell both of you to hold tight, and he wants to know what everyone's smoking in the basement these days.
Old argument from before the show on who the best Washington Redskins wide receiver is. Currently, at this very second. Feel free to put your thoughts through. Let us know.
Hey, in my phone.
Is this
But
the
we're not going to do it. We're not going
bonus
to.
coverage?
No, we're not talking about that.
Because it's Trey
We're
Quinn.
not going to.
No, we're not talking about that.
Trey Quinn.
It's not. We're not talking about it. We're not talking
When you
about
got a guy on your phone who's under WR, you got to ask him those receiver questions. And
All right, here we go. We can start it up.
good pull, Ken.
It's Tuesday night, and you do got me, Tim Strachan.
You're starting to show off as creepy as you can. But
Good for
that's
you.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Hey, that's what we do down
It can
here
only
on
get
Tuesday
less
nights.
creepy from here, guys.
Well, I haven't introduced the next guy yet.
And from what I understand,
Kevin
this
Rica.
is Landon Collins' favorite jam. And
Is
you know
it
what?
really?
Have at it, bud.
Yeah.
How
Have
do you
at
know
it.
that?
It might very well be. Maybe.
Extensive.
That came up in your research?
Extensive research.
Good
T.
Lord.
Well,
What's his favorite color?
Burgundy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How about that?
21's his favorite number. Keep on coming them on.
It's Tuesday. It's the Audible. Welcome to Hogs Haven. Welcome to all the folks who are joining us on First Amendment Sports. Please hit subscribe on that logo. It helps us out a ton. We will be bringing you the rest of this offseason until we get to training camp. But this is a fun week because it's legal tampering week. You got free agency, looming. You got trades happening all over the place. Draft needs are changing by the second, which means all the conversations we've had about the first round of the draft are pretty much going to be pointless. Probably whenever they announce all the deals officially tomorrow, when we know exactly what's going to happen.
I know. Right when you said legal tampering, you just got creepier, and you lost me.
Hey, we live in an era of legal tampering.
No, it's been unbelievable. It's been an
That's right.
unbelievable last 36 hours
Yeah.
to 48 hours just to see what has happened. I mean, this league is going crazy already.
We've been legally tampering for the better part of the last 3 decades, so
Yes, we have.
let's keep it moving.
Depends on what you're talking about.
The Washington Redskins are famous for not playing, maybe under Dan Snyder more than anything else, although Jack Kincook was no saint.
I like what you wrote, the 2-minute Hainsworth. Like, we negotiated this in 1 minute and 13 seconds.
Yes. Is that really what happened, or did they already have a deal? So the NFL woke up to that one.
I wish that was illegal tampering badly.
Yeah, that would be like the Washington Wizards getting saved from the Juwan Howard. I'm just getting in.
Miami. It was
They
Miami.
were screwed.
It was Miami.
They were screwed by the legal tampering.
Coach Pat Riley.
Ugh. The Washington, D.C. sports fans never make out on this one.
We're not great tamperers.
Welcome to Offseason on the Brink, where we, Redskins fans, band together in a basement podcast studio and decide for ourselves as a group what do we think about the Case Keenum era being underway at this very moment. A couple of quick thoughts as you gather your kind of opening arguments for the Case Keenum era. So new quarterback in town. It's a big deal. Washington Redskins is a quarterback town. Always has, probably always will be for the most part. The offense is in new hands. He's a veteran. He fits perfectly the narrative of the Washington Redskins quarterback history in the last 20 years. Just a journeyman, everyman, maybe halfway decent, maybe not.
Can't find a better man.
Worth $3.5 million, which is a strong one. I want to know how you guys feel in the pit of your stomach about this deal, and I want to pivot in the midst of all that to the draft, because the Washington Redskins may no longer need a quarterback in the first round, or want one for that matter. So what are some opening thoughts on the Case Keenum era?
So I like it to the extent that it's a good insurance policy with a mediocre, medium, high, lukewarm percentage of efficiency.
Keenum insurance?
Yes.
Well, he's the starter.
Well, do you think they're just going to give it to him?
No. But I think he is.
Do you really?
I do. I could be a little. Maybe is that revolutionary?
See a whole lot of difference in the two.
I like Colt.
I think Colt's been here long enough. You got to give him the nod just for his institutional.
I think it's an open competition, though, T.
No, it is.
But you're giving him the nod in the competition.
With Colt McCoy, it's always going to be an open competition, or you're the backup. I don't think Case Keenum comes in and automatically gets crowned starter. It's an open competition, but you have to give the nod to Colt McCoy.
He has the advantage right now,
right?
He's
got the institutional knowledge and has been in the system and has earned the right to be right now on paper the number one quarterback.
Agreed.
For the Redskins.
I'll agree with all that.
So I look at it as great insurance policy for Colt McCoy, who's not your typical best 32 quarterbacks in the league, but somebody we're happy to have, right? And happy to have. But you need something else. Just in case it doesn't work out or things go bad. And I think Case Keenum has shown, not all the time, but he can play in this. He can play in this league. He can play in this league. He can light it up every once in a while. And he has lit it up every once in a while. I think
for $3.5 million,
better than the Rosen situation, only because Rosen has higher ceiling, maybe.
Sure, he's more of a prospect.
Okay, there's maybe a higher upside, but
they could still get him.
No guarantee. You know what you're getting with Keenum.
I would still consider trading for Rosen.
You're getting a Colt McCoy pretty much. So we got two guys that we can rely on who are going to be healthy and able to get the job done to the most.
Before I turn it to you, Kevin, the only thing I would I agree on Colt should have earned the advantage going into the competition. Agreed. I'm comfortable with Colt at quarterback in a scenario where we don't have a stud at quarterback, so I think we agree there. Where I don't agree is that they're similar only in the sense that I think that Case Keenum has played at a higher level, certainly more recently. He helmed a 13-3 team. He found receivers, and I give him. I think he's the one who emerges as our starter on week 1. What do you got?
I enjoy that you said the word insurance. Insurance is the key phrase here, especially after Mark Sanchez insurance. That should be a premium paid on that for eternity as a football fan in my world. There was. I think I stopped paying 2 years ago, and I reaped what I sowed. It's like when your wife's like, we need life insurance. We need life insurance. You get a great deal on life insurance. Well, you still paid money, and if you guys have noticed, I'm a bastion of health.
Oh yeah,
it seems like an unnecessary. It's
I've modeled myself after you.
Thank you.
I
appreciate that.
That's true.
It's like paying $4,000 to get a tree cut down. You're like, okay, the tree's cut down. I don't have $4,000 anymore, but I guess there's no more tree.
And there's no more tree.
But there's no more Mark Sanchez. He's the tree in this scenario. Yep. And I had a couple Minnesota fans.
I would have paid more to cut him down.
Minnesota fans. I agree. A couple Minnesota fans reached out this week. Our guy Sam, and he said, "You know what? We would give you Kirk Cousins right now for Case Keenum." So it all depends on what angle you look at it.
Yeah.
And he did 2 years ago put it out there. Stephon Diggs, WCAC pride, Good Counsel's own, Maryland's own, a Terp at heart, and a guy that we've seen grow up and play ball. I think he'd take Case Keenum.
Yes, he would certainly.
I'm just saying.
He had a Fitzmagic kind of year.
Sure, which Colt hasn't had yet.
Outside of a Fitzmagic, he
fault.
hasn't also been given the opportunity or had the amount of.
I know.
Although Fitzmagic, by definition, is not a full year.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
Whereas Case Keenum had the whole year.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
He just had that kind of magical year. Outside of that year, he is a bit of backup that's come in and had a game or two that are 300 plus with multiple touchdowns versus the next week maybe having a dud. That's what I mean with.
And that's who we can afford now.
That's what we're getting.
We all knew after the spiral fracture when we were broadcasting the championship games.
I'd be rather paying for that than paying for a Rosen.
This was
I think this was a great move.
Well, Rosen very, very certainly could be another addition.
Yeah, I would still trade for Rosen for $1.3 million.
I'm just saying it's not those two versus each other. It's Redskins stability at a certain level after a terrible injury to a guy that we've given $1 billion to.
I think I said on this show a year, maybe a little over a year ago, that our future quarterback, meaning franchise quarterback, wasn't even in high school.
Well,
I think what you said was he didn't have pubes.
yes, that's 100% true. You said you didn't have pubes, which could still be true. But
it could
as
still
long as
be
you're going to
very
quote
true.
yourself, you need to be quoted
Because we're
warmly
not
and
getting
accurately.
that. You're not getting that franchise.
catch.
My point being, you're not getting that franchise quarterback this year, right?
Nope.
So Case Keenum,
You could do anything. I think, but getting Case Keenum,
it works.
if the guy, if the guy you love at quarterback falls to you in the first round at number 15, almost any time ever you have to take him. I think because you're at number 15. If you love a quarterback first of all,
Is this your pivot?
We don't.
no. Oh,
We don't.
yes. It's
Well,
kind of my pivot.
I don't think they're going to be there. I don't think
No,
anyone
and there won't
worthy
be.
of taking is going to be there at
No,
15.
no,
and
there
I don't see
won't
them
be.
moving up to do it. So
There won't be, but I also, at the same time, I don't think signing Case Keenum means you absolutely don't draft a quarterback. Now, I don't think they do. But I'm just saying Case Keenum changes almost nothing. All he changes is the fact that we don't have to do something.
Oh, he's a manscaper's dream.
He's a manscaper's
So who are
dream.
you
No matter
cutting?
how
Who
bad
you
it gets, it's
cutting,
always going to be
Colt or
fairly
Keenum,
smooth down there.
If you draft at number 15.
No,
in
I'm
the first
keeping
round.
three quarterbacks. I've been outspoken about the fact that I think this team needs three quarterbacks, especially when two of the quarterbacks are
said
Colt
that
McCoy and Case
last year.
Keenum. Yeah, but last year it was Alex Smith and Colt McCoy. It was more of a professional, golfer caddy situation, and you would have a lot of teams ride with two in that scenario. We have established veteran and a professional backup.
Guys.
But three quarterbacks is what we need.
The only time two legs have broken so easily over something I enjoyed was chicken wings 2 days ago. There's no other way that we possibly could have seen that coming. And I know we
carried three the year
we
before.
love Kevin Hogan. We've never carried three during
Yes.
the season.
Well,
Yes,
it's been a
we
while.
did.
It's been a while.
Not in Jay Gruden's era.
He's been
Our
a two
boy that
quarterback
went
active.
up to Philadelphia.
Sage Rosenfeld.
Yeah, he never dressed.
No.
I'm talking about he was on Nate Sudfeld.
Oh, Nate
got,
Sudfeld.
He got plucked off
Practice
the
squad.
Practice squad. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've been able to keep guys on the practice squad, or we've been able to get guys to the practice squad, but that's how we lost Sudfeld, and we essentially lost Kevin Hogan, and we were hoping to put him on the practice
Put
squad.
it this
but we
way:
couldn't.
Case Keenum is so far above the practice squad third-tier guy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Then that's what I'm happy about. You know what? In the face of the injury with the contract situation, this is the best possible value we could have gotten, I think. That doesn't make me super excited, but it makes me feel a little bit better about things, obviously.
And it opens up the best player available scenario. It opens up if a pass rusher, one of these stud pass rushers falls to us at number
Wide
15.
receiver.
Why?
You know, I swear
I'm
by
not.
that.
I don't want Metcalf. I think he's the shiny,
I don't-
shiny object.
No.
But
Wide
it's
receiver in the
possible.
second round tops.
Yeah, I wouldn't
we
take a first-round wide
need
receiver.
an edge rusher. We have Ryan Anderson, Ryan Kerrigan, and
That's it.
I mean, listen, Casanova McKenzie is a specialist. These guys, there's going to be a lot of guys we can get at veteran minimums and guys that can come in here and be specialists. And maybe we got to get one of those to pair up with Ryan Anderson as a first and second down guy and bring that guy in. But that seems like a tell. That seems like that's a bit of a JV approach. I
It's
think.
also a value standpoint. Edge pass rushers, talented edge pass rushers who come into the league are capable of playing from day one because what they do is translatable from college to pro.
And there's so many.
If there's a stud blue chip guy in the top 15 and you get him, he's playing for you on day one. They call starting impact edge rushers right now cost anywhere from $12 to $16 million a year.
Can't get one.
So the only way the Washington Redskins can afford a stud pass rusher prospect is through the draft. It's in that first round.
A top-tier guy.
A top-tier guy, which you will be getting. A top-tier guy at number 15.
A guy worthy of playing next to Alan Payne and Ioannidis.
Correct. And he will cost you about $16 to $17 million on a 4-year deal. That's the only way the Redskins can compete in this league right now because they couldn't afford to keep Preston Smith. I believe he's a Green Bay Packer now.
Yeah, $13 million a year.
Yep.
4 years, $52 million. That was never. Crowder getting almost 10 and him getting 14 was never, ever happening.
So for the
Secchi getting
Redskins had to go
7.
that
Do you
route.
think either one of them
Yes.
are deserving of that?
I think Crowder is, and I think Preston Smith is. I think both
really?
of them.
Some
yes.
people think Crowder was supposed to get more. I think for us, no way.
I think he
different.
got just what he
Right,
should have gotten.
exactly.
I thought $8 million a year.
They just
That's what
both
I had him
sound
pegged
high.
at.
It sounds high.
It does. It does. And Crowder,
And
when
maybe
healthy,
it's just from my perspective.
when
as a
healthy,
skin.
Sudfeld told us is a quarterback's best friend. You know, he said it on the golf course before he became an Eagle. But he said, you got to see him at practice and blah, blah, but health is a big deal. That's a lot of money. And if we're in the business of predicting health in this basement, then we suck.
And he had kind of a case of the yips in the last couple of years.
He had
too.
a couple bad games.
And
That-
special teams.
for sure.
But he's not going to do that in
There
Green
were some
Bay.
drops.
Or, I'm sorry,
there were some fumbles that
New
he
York.
had also on the offensive side of the ball.
That's
where-
right.
where
No,
some
you're right,
it
T.
was yippy.
Hey, but the fairness of it is, if I'm a New York Jets fan and I have one, Zeke called up, said, "What do you think?" I said, "You guys are getting a great player."
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't think you overpaid.
Yeah.
That's what you
No,
pay.
I was always happy with him, but
Yeah, me too.
I just don't know.
He's got to pass a
millions.
physical, by the way. And I
and-
say that, and I don't have the inside
He's-
scoop on anything here, guys. But I know he's hurt. I know, and I know he's got to pass a physical. And I'm watching for that line. And I know in the NFL, physicals are jokes. You want a guy, he's going to pass your physical. Jamison Crowder's been hurt for the Washington. He's played hurt, but he's still hurt.
I want a guy, when you said you need a guy, I want a guy that comes off the edge like a bat out of hell with a quick first step. The kind of guy that scares us when we play against him. That's what I want. And with these 3 D linemen that we had last year, Preston Smith had 4 sacks, I believe, and solid player. He's exactly what Green Bay wants to do. He's not exactly what the Washington Redskins want to do. That was different. I want one of these guys, whether it be Brian Burns, Montez Sweat, Cleveland Farrell. I want a werewolf to pair with the
This
strength
is
of
a
our team.
D-end draft.
Oh man, I need blue
There-
cheese with my wings,
it's
and I don't
so
want.
We're gonna
the-
get one of these guys.
I know. I want the blue cheese to be as good as the wing.
But I just want to make sure I state my case on Preston Smith. I think he's one of the best defensive and OLBs.
Yeah,
in
but
the
he's
game.
not explosive.
I understand what people don't think that he is.
He's not explosive
But you
off
put
the
your-
line. That's it.
You put your starting 11 on the field, and he's one of them. He's a 6'5". He's got
Out
an
of
NBA
16
reach,
games, he would
Yeah.
have.
All right, Ken. We
and he,
never, we were
and
never
he pressures
excited
the
him.
quarterback. And he
Yeah.
pressures the quarterback.
with persistence, not with explosion.
his-
great
We already
game
have one of those
potential was
guys,
1.5
Ryan
per
Kerrigan.
Oh,
season.
Kevin, I understand, but
I know.
I'm
I
just
just
saying,
don't want 2. I want a werewolf.
we were
You know-
not going
you
to
know-
spend the money on Preston Smith.
No
We already
chance.
didn't.
Of
but,
course not.
But
Of
what he
course
does in the game, he has earned his money, and he's worth $13 million. If the Redskins had more money and we let him go, I think that would be a big
think
story.
in hindsight,
It's
we're
not a
gonna
story
say
now
it's
because
not.
we don't have the money for
I
him.
think in hindsight,
Listen.
it's not worth it.
No, he's proven it. He's proven on the field. He's proven it.
Real quick, who did Joe Gibbs? It was Marcus Washington and someone else, and he said double jeopardy.
Listen.
Who was that?
Oh, double
When Joe
jeopardy.
Gibbs said double jeopardy, it was Marcus Washington and someone else. We've had no jeopardy. We've had no Alex or Trebek, and I love Kerrigan, and he's persistent, and he gets the job done. And God bless him, what a great tried and true Redskin.
I want the draft pick.
I want some.
I want the rookie.
I want a blur.
Yeah, and we need that. We have to have that for salary cap purposes.
I'm asking for this as like, I'm not saying I demand this. I'm saying this is like my birthday, Christmas, and everything wrapped up when I'm 13 years old. That's what I'm saying. I really wish for.
I think we're going to get it. I also
I think we can.
don't think there's any. I think it would be malpractice for the Redskins not, because that's the one position that we need right now. And again, it's because Smith is gone.
And whoever that guy is, isn't he freed up with who we got up front? Isn't he freed up? You got to pay attention to Allen and Payne. You got to double team at least one of those cats. If you don't deal with both of them,
first-round
then you
draft
got
picks
somebody
playing
else.
right next
Yes,
to each other.
let's complement this. You know what?
It's
Let's
gonna be fun.
complement this.
And if you can get that kind of value from a rookie contract, it makes
Hell yes.
a high dollar free agent signing like Landon Collins feel that
Yes.
much better.
For 5 years too. For 5 years at that rookie contract level.
And number 15 would be a 4-year deal. There's no balloon fifth
Right.
on that
My
that
bad.
guy, a non-quarterback. But and again, with a second and 2/3, I also, while I'm not here to tell you that I would like to see the Redskins move away from the edge rusher, that's who I want the Redskins to get. The likelihood that T.J. Hawkinson, the tight end from Iowa, could be available at number 15, I got to be honest. I think the Redskins would potentially look hard at a guy like that in the middle of the first round.
That would involve either cutting Vernon Davis or restructuring Jordan Reed.
Correct.
And cutting Jordan.
Or
and
trading
Vernon
him or
Davis.
figuring out.
Right.
I don't
All
know
right.
how that would look.
No, that's a whole different ball of wax.
But they do the words that they talk
But if
about.
he can't rush the passer, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, they say Rob Gronkowski. They say Rob Gronkowski when they talk about this guy.
And I think he's amazing.
Yeah,
I
TJ
saw him-
Hawkinson. And his teammates going to go ahead of him. There could be 2 Iowa tight ends drafted in the top 12, top 15 picks of this draft. Hey, Juice. Oh, you're on the phone? No, I want to bring you in for the end of this show.
You're going to go TJ Hawkinson, double tight formation, Iowa, and then Juice is coming in. What are we running? Is Juice running option here? You got 2 quarterbacks here.
No.
He's a classic pro, a classic dual threat. What does Juice bring? I know. Great personality and tremendous Redskins
An amazing
appreciation.
voice.
I just wanted to shout out that we have one of the greatest pro-style quarterbacks coming out of the area right here.
Well, I just drafted him.
One of the most average dual threats sitting right here.
You said you get some headphones
Apparently you're a dual threat.
That mic is on, but you got to hold it up. You can't be talking into it. I don't know if you're in the shot or not, but they can hear you. Everyone can hear you. All right. So the reason why I wanted to bring you in is because last week I said which of the rumors related to the Redskins were you most in favor of? You said Josh Rosen, the Josh Rosen trade.
Right.
Now we're going to put that on the side for a second because since then we traded for Case Keenum.
Right.
And we've all agreed that he's going straight to the Hall of Fame as a Redskins quarterback. That's not even in question anymore.
Oh, that'd be nice, though, wouldn't it?
No, it's a different Hall of Fame.
It's a basement Hall of Fame, really, and it's a long list. There's a lot of people. You're going in before that guy all day long, Juice. All right, so now that we have Case Keenum and Landon Collins at the safety position, so there's 2 positions that as of last week we were all saying we got to address these 2 positions. What's the next position you're addressing? Any means necessary, whether it be free agent or draft. What's your next highest priority position?
Edge rusher.
There you go. All right. I mean, that's fair.
It has to be.
It has to be.
Juice has spoken.
There it is. All right. You got me. Now, we can't afford one in free agency, so that has to be first round of the draft.
I mean, we could probably get an edge rusher. I mean, we can get one in free agency. I mean, there's a lot of things we haven't done yet. There's a lot of things that we have not done yet that could open up some money.
But they already went. They're gone. The guys you care about are gone. There's no edge rusher that we can pay $13 or $14 million to that you would want to pay.
You're going to get Shane Ray, who couldn't start for Denver, coming in here making $8 million. That's not what we want to do. We don't want to go low middle.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then we do have to go. We have to go in the draft and get one. I mean, I just think that if
number one,
that would solidify our defense.
Brian Burns, Montez Sweat, Cleveland Farrell.
If Cleveland Farrell falls to 15, first of all, I'll be shocked because I've seen him in the top 5, top 7, and he falls out of it sometimes depending on who's making the pick. If he comes here, I will go nuts. I'm not a big Clemson guy, but thanks to them being awesome at football, we get to watch them a lot on TV. He jumps off a big screen HD television on a regular basis. It's nuts what he can do.
Right.
Throwing a number out there. How many defensive and edge rushers do you think could go in the first round?
Well, I think it's like 7.
Before 15, 5.
Yeah, I
at
think
least.
I know.
At least.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm scared.
So much deeper than that.
No, that's why I'm going to root
It's
like
so
we
much
have for the
deeper
last
than
few
that.
years. Well, not with the big time guys that you think can start day one versus the guys they're going to have for 4 years.
We need
that's
one
when
that's
you
going
got
to start day one.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And it's also the solution.
Yeah, that's where you find them.
Guy.
I actually think a
paycheck.
sneaky benefit for the Redskins for a guy to fall to us is Teddy Bridgewater agreeing in principle to stay with the New Orleans Saints. Him deciding to stay for the New Orleans Saints opens up a spot.
Sean Payton said it. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'm saying him
interrupt.
staying in New Orleans keeps him from going to a team that was hoping to get him to make him their quarterback, which I think it impacts the picks above us and is going to result in a quarterback being taken that may or may not have been taken otherwise. And I think that ends up pushing an edge rusher our way.
I think it's going to be like the last few years when we've been together during these drafts. We've been rooting for every team to draft a quarterback. We've been rooting for every team to draft a wide receiver
and a running back.
And we've been rooting for every team to draft an offensive lineman.
Into the equation because
we want him to go. We
he's
want
such
him to
a
go.
shiny object.
We want all the quarterbacks
Somebody's taking
that
him.
can possibly go before 15, tackles to go before 15, and that's what we can't wait for.
There's 2, right?
That's
I think
exciting
there's 2
to us.
tackles. There's 2.
That's
a fun way of watching the draft.
4 quarterbacks right now.
A couple defensive tackles as well.
Let me ask you guys a
couple
question.
defensive
Let me
backs.
ask you a question.
Love
Let me ask you guys a
2
question.
defensive backs.
Let's say Drew Lock is there, and let's say an edge rusher is there.
Edge rusher.
Now, who? That's what you're saying. But what do you think the Redskins would do?
Oh, I think it's edge rusher.
Edge rusher.
You think they would take an edge rusher over Drew Lock?
They know who's on the roster, and we know who's not on the roster. And we have Ryan Anderson and Ryan Kerrigan. Name another.
That's my next
question. Hold on, though. Name another edge rusher.
Right, but that's my next question. Okay, now you have Ryan Anderson, who was a second-round pick.
Yep.
Now
he's an edge setter, though. He's not.
He's an edge setter.
Right. So, how are we looking at that second-round pick now?
But hold on. So wait, hold on.
You know what I mean? Like, Ryan
Juice,
Anderson's a good player.
Juice, hold on. The issue is a starting impact edge rusher costs $13 to $15, $16, $17 million a year. So you the only other way the Redskins could get a guy like that is in the first round. So there's no question that it has to be that guy.
Right, but my question is, okay, Ryan Anderson. Now you want a second-round draft choice to start for you. I mean,
he's going to start for us this season.
You think?
Yes.
Okay, so we get
a rookie edge rusher is not going to be able to play 90% of the snaps.
So you're saying, irregardless that Ryan Anderson is going to start for us?
Yes.
That's your okay.
Yeah.
Opposite Kerrigan, Ryan Anderson, whoever our first-round shiny new toy is, will be a rookie. He'll still be learning the tricks of the trade.
Yeah, and he's going to play.
From a veteran like Kerrigan, but he might be the more dynamic rusher, but this guy's going to stop the run and team ball. Those two will occupy opposite Kerrigan, and if someone gets hurt, who the heck else are we even talking about? And we're a franchise of hurt.
Right.
All we've had is hurt.
Right. So you're going to get a first-round pick on somebody that's not going to start.
No.
Oh, no.
He's playing a ton.
He might get 10 sacks.
He's playing a ton, Juice.
Okay.
I mean, because you're putting in nickel and dime for the most part.
True.
On the regular.
Okay.
My
whole thing is, are you getting value? Is your value for what you're
edge rusher is value?
No, it is value. I'm just saying, are you going to get the value you're looking for, either from Ryan Anderson or your first round pick? That's what I'm saying. Because Ryan Anderson, your second round pick, you want to start for you at some point. You want your second round pick because you invested a lot in him.
Oh, our second round pick. I think that's a wideout.
But Juice, think about
he
this.
He will start ahead of Trey Quinn. Sorry, boys.
I'm talking about Ryan Anderson.
Eventually, yes. He will set the edge. Yes.
If you have Ryan Anderson and you have this first round pick, and you have both those guys, and one of them starting, but both of them are playing a lot, you're playing Ryan Anderson a second round pick salary. He's making less than $1 million. He's making $1 million a season. Your first round pick and number 15 overall, he's playing for between $4 and $5 million a season. So you're paying combined for those two players on your roster, $7 million roughly versus $14, $15 million.
May I say this real quick? In our speed package or our NASCAR package, or whatever we call it, we're taking out Ioannidis, who's supposed to plug the gap. It's 3rd and 13. Ryan Anderson gets plugged in at right defensive end and rushes the passer as a right defensive end in the 3-4. Yep. We'll still have the shiny new toy and Kerrigan rushing from the outside.
Okay.
Ryan Anderson is burly enough
to
tackle draw, to pursue screen in that scenario. Ryan Anderson's the guy that you can use as a jack of all trades in that scenario. It's not just one position we're talking about.
Sure, I got you.
Yes.
I got you.
And he's also an alpha male. Beast.
I love Ryan Anderson.
His makeup, like the players know who he is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that you know is more about what that means than even I do. That he's that guy where you're like, oh, wherever he goes, I'm going.
I mean, I would love to see him be able to develop some really good moves, either just a speed rush or a bull rush or up and under, whatever it is he has to do to become a really good pass rush. I would love to see it because I think he's a dog.
Here's the other way to look at it too. If you're going to take a quarterback, you better be sure he's your future. I don't know if Locke's really that guy. I personally, I don't think he is.
Right.
They say he's an introvert. He's got a bit of an odd personality, and he's not a natural-born leader. I'm sorry, but the NFL is a league of men amongst men.
None of these quarterbacks really make me go,
nervous.
I'm going to invest my future in them.
I agree with you,
I think what you do monetarily, if you look at it straight as a business, you take the defensive end because it makes your team better.
I agree with you, except for we will disagree on Kyler Murray. He's one of those jokers.
Nope,
that just kind of.
I know you're not taking him at 15 if he's available.
No. We've already done our quarterback business. I'm just saying if we're going to talk about the quarterbacks. Daniel Jones has kind of poo-pooed his way out of the first round.
We'll see. I would take him in the second.
He was mocked for weeks.
I would take him in the second.
T and I don't want Haskins, and you would think that we would both agree on him. He just makes me nervous. And when you see these receivers,
none of these guys look like a lock. Even Kyler Murray, they do not look like a lock.
I like that you said lock. And we're talking about Drew Lock.
All right,
Lock is not a lock.
Here's how we're we're gonna get out of here
Two locks
tonight,
don't
guys.
make it right.
That's
and,
true.
and we'll let Juice lead off. We know what's going on. Give me one name, the next name that you want to hear signing with the Washington Redskins. And you know what? Maybe it's not until the draft, and you can tell me the first round pick you think it should be. But give me your
Somebody in
next
free
name,
agency?
the next person to join the Redskins that you want it to be.
Give me Williams from the Chargers.
Tyrell Williams.
Tyrell Williams.
And he won't be cheap. But I think with $13.3 million of salary cap space today, I think the Washington Redskins are capable of putting a contract structure together. Kevin's boy, Eric Schaefer, is a genius and could figure that out. He is a difference maker on offense, I think, for a number of offenses. He's not going to come cheap. That deal will get announced, and it'll have a high number on it at some point for somebody. He's fast and speedy, right? I'm actually a little bit surprised that Devin Funchess got the
13
million, yeah,
13
on a 1 year
million.
deal. I would do Tyrell for a 1 year deal on 13 million in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I would just give him the last of our space.
I would.
T, one name.
Well, I haven't done the research
Okay.
enough to know, but I would want it to have a wide receiver.
Okay. I think
behind
Tyrell's
their name.
probably that guy then.
I would want it to be a wide receiver behind their name. That, I think, I'm really now nervous. I know we couldn't have signed Crowder for what he got signed for, but now you look at our wide receiving core, and it makes me nervous because they were not good last year with Crowder.
No one's going to know what we're about to do on
What are
offense
they
because
now?
no one knows where it's coming from or how it's
What
going to
are
happen.
they now? They are.
It's
No offense to any of them. It's poop. It's
So-
straight up poop, and it needs
He called the shit poop.
called the shit poop.
it needs a little something sprinkled on top to make it look a little bit.
I think one thing that's going to be somewhat
real
liberating
nervous about
about the Washington Redskins on offense this season is you don't have Alex Smith out there with everything, all the baggage that he comes with in his history of
You don't
throwing to
have
tight
dime
ends.
throwers.
But-
No. We don't
No,
have
no.
dime throwers.
Yeah, we don't have dime throwers. I think you don't know who's going to be wide receiver, and you got Darius Geis who can catch the ball out of the backfield. I think Case Keenum is going to again. It could be cold,
It's
and you know
the
what?
era of Trey Quinn.
The phenomenon
It's
of
the
whether
era
it's Colt
of Trey
or Case,
Quinn.
I think it's just a high target. I think you're going to see the Washington offense be the liberating thing is
You said it on text today. The Trey Quinn era.
the Trey Quinn era begins. It does, but at the same
And
time,
that should scare the crap out
I
of
just
all
think
of us.
Colt and Case are going to throw to more wide receivers than Alex did, and that for better or worse. Who knows how it's going to work out? I'll give you mine. I tell you what, Kevin, go ahead. I took Lawrence Moten from you on the last show. I don't.
No,
wanna,
go ahead. Because I got it's not gonna cross.
I'm
state
going
lines.
offensive line.
Me too.
Go.
But I'm not. I'm keeping it in house.
All right, guys. Say
Okay.
it. You both
I'm
say it
keeping
on
it in
three.
house.
1,
Listen.
2, 3.
Of all the shitty ass guards that played guard for us last year, I believe it was 9 different gentlemen.
Yeah.
And I think we got to draft a guard in the 3rd round. It's hard to just anticipate having a guard come in, line up next to Trent Williams, in between Chase Roulier, Brandon Sheriff, and Morgan Moses, and be like, problem solved. That's not that easy. A free agent guard's going to cost a fortune. Jonathan Cooper put in serious minutes for us before he tore his pec, I believe. Pro Football Focus, Chris Cooley, anyone that watched said, this guy's been a diamond in the rough. What a find.
Yeah.
And we can re-sign this guy for peanuts, go out and get a 3rd-round guy who's going to be the guy, but give him a little bit of
Or
a
even a
bridge
second
gap.
round.
Maybe.
I don't mind, I don't mind drafting a tackle in the second who moves into guard.
You know how I feel.
Yeah.
Edge, wide receiver. Edge, wide receiver, guard. Edge,
Yep.
wide receiver, guard.
Now that safety's
I don't
off the
care
list.
which one of those 3rd-round picks is a guard. I think you got to go up and get one. There's some beasts out there. There's some guys that can solidify the position. But what we've understood is guards get hurt for us. For the last 2 years, we've gone through 17. I'm going to say bring back Jonathan Cooper, who overperformed for us at a tiny bit of wage, who found his new love for football in Bill Callahan. I think that's a guy, one of the rare guys that we bring back who what he did for us last year, he over,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then tore his pec, which
I'd be happy with that because again, it
what
wouldn't
I'm
cost
really saying
money.
is I don't want a big, huge splash.
I don't want a huge
We
splash
got our
either.
splash. Landon Collins,
And I made the case for AJ Cann. I was an AJ Cann guy out of South Carolina. I remember talking to Steve Shalp a lot about AJ Cann.
When are we getting Shalp on?
We're gonna. Oh, trust me, we're gonna be
hold
getting
on.
Shalp
AJ Cann's family is about to get just illuminated.
Yes, AJ Cann. I thought he went to 3rd round in the 2015 draft at the Jacksonville Jaguars. He started most of his career, 13 games as a rookie. He started 15 of 16 the last 2. He's grades out average, which in NFL free agency probably means more money than we want to spend. And which is if that's the case, I'm out. I think he's a super serviceable guard on his second contract. I would love it. I'm also, because I love the Jonathan Cooper idea, does that slide me over? I haven't heard any Paradise news.
He's done.
It already happened? Okay, damn it.
Both our guys, both our guard centers went Tennessee, Carolina. Paradise signed a big deal.
Good.
And who's the guy? Who's the other one?
Saffold.
Saffold.
Yeah, Saffold.
Saffold went Rams, huge, 22 guaranteed, 44 over 4, I think.
Yeah.
And
He deserved
Paradise went 3 years. He got a big one, man.
Dude,
I want
guards?
to say 31. I know. Offensive guards
Our
in the
offensive
NFL
guards
are
are
like
getting, it's like
the bells
guaranteed
of the
money.
ball. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, they're getting the second contract on the regular, and it's a good second contract. And we're talking about guys. I mean, we're talking about guys. Some guys who
Spencer
haven't played a whole
Long
lot.
just getting paid. We were like,
That's right.
New York Giants give him $8 million a year for 4. Like,
That's why when we get to the second round of this draft, you
I
talk
always
about what we're
liked
going to do
him.
our second round
Me
pick.
too.
I'm
I
looking
always
for
liked
me too. but-
tackles at the NCAA level that I can move into guard. That's who I'm targeting in the second round of this draft. After I get my edge rusher, I'm going.
Can I make a prediction?
You like the
Can I
T-Rex
make-
arm guys who
Yeah.
weigh like
Can I make a
330?
prediction?
Yes.
I'm going to make a prediction.
What do you got?
The Skins are going to make another splash move. I'm telling you. There were a lot of people dressed as
In
empty
order to
seats
make that
last year.
splash
Like
move,
Kobe
they have
Bryant.
There was
other
a
moves to make.
lot of people dressed as empty seats in that stadium.
But they have to
last
make
year.
other moves
that's
in order to make a
factual.
splash move. Like what's going to
I'm
happen with
telling you.
Norman? What's going to happen with
They are going to
you
do
know some
something.
other guys? Yeah,
Extend.
They are
What's
going
gonna
to do
Juice.
something. There
To
was a
get a
That line
splash.
of thought.
empty
That line
How?
of thought.
Like what?
I agree with.
Huh?
Like what?
I don't know. I'm just saying they're going to do
I don't even
something.
know. It's
I
just
don't
gonna be
even know.
something
I don't
crazy.
know. I mean, they got to move some money around. They got to
This is
extend
just-
Brandon
this is
Sheriff.
just Juice getting
Restructure
under his covers.
Brandon
Sheriff.
They got to
Getting
do
under his
that.
covers, waiting for it all
I
to
think
happen.
Vernon's gone.
Zach Brown's
I
gone.
think
his
Zach
tin hat
Brown's
on.
gone. I think Mason Foster's gone.
Stacey McGee is
I
gone.
think Stacey McGee
Yeah,
is gone.
these guys
Norman?
are gone.
I think
Norman?
Norman might be gone. I
All
think
five?
they're
Nah,
going
Norman,
Well,
I think Norman stays.
If
All
Norman's
five?
gone, I think we're going to get something for
I want
him.
Norman.
They are going to make another splash move. I'm
Okay.
telling you. There was too many empty seats in that stadium last year.
And it's an interesting
And
market
they
too,
don't-
Juice. People are trading big name guys with contracts, and it's happening. It's happening very
Mark
frequently.
my words. We're going to text each other. I'm telling you. I'm going
All
to
right.
text you guys and
All
say,
right.
I told you.
Well, speaking
Wow.
of juice, I want to save some juice. We're paying by the molecule over there on our camera tonight. Please do us a favor and come back in 15 minutes and tune into the Hot Box.
Yes, sir.
Darren McClinton, Kevin McClinton, and I, and anyone else who's still left in this basement, talking about the hardwood, college, pro,
Coming up.
local.
Yep.
We got some fun stuff to talk about this evening, and I'm sure Darren will be towed up and eating something
Right,
gummy
chest.
because he just loves gummy stuff.
Right, it's just, yeah.
I am excited because we're back in the habit on a weekly basis of talking about Redskins news because there's actual news. Between the time we end this show and next Tuesday night, something is going to happen. I think Juice is right, and it'll be exciting. And the Washington Redskins' fortunes will change for better or for worse. By the way,
We talked about Landon Collins, right?
no, we didn't. But I was gonna actually, you know what? I was even going to get to one of his former teammates before I got to him, which was that the New York Giants just got weak in the last couple of days because they got rid of Landon Collins and Odell Beckham Jr. Who the hell are we going to play? Is it going to be the Saquon show? He's going to be pretty easy to guard if that's all they got.
They may start.
Hey, can I
playing
ask
him
y'all
on
a question
defense.
real quick? I was thinking about this.
Another question.
What number does Landon Collins wear? Does he wear 36?
I think so.
He's got to go 36.
He's got to go 36, doesn't he?
100%. Because he's not going to wear
Got
21.
to, yeah. But I mean, that seems to be a trend.
I think so.
That seems to be kind of, sewer cravings.
You keep coming on this show
Yeah.
and saying that name.
Jesus.
I respect the shit
DJ
out of you.
Swearinger
DJ.
and now Landon Collins.
Yeah.
Just a question. All right.
It should be
Hell
36.
yeah.
Should be
which is like
36.
It would be cool
Which
as
is super
shit.
awesome.
That would be
Yeah.
nice, wouldn't it?
I would
That
love
would be
it.
cool.
I would love
that.
that.
would be cool. Okay. All right.
Until next Tuesday night, please check us out at First Amendment Sports YouTube
Smash it.
channel. Smash that subscribe button. Give us some subscriptions. Just give us one. Just give us one. One new one tonight. We'd be super appreciative. I want to thank Kevin McClinton for joining us.
Thanks, guys. This is fun. I always enjoy chopping it up with you guys.
Tim Strachan,
Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
Kevin Ricka.
I'm going to be the first one to say, welcome, Landon Collins. Thank God you're here. 149 defensive stops in the last 4 years, leads the NFL. That's the guy that gets your team off the field on third down. That's humongous. And if I hear one more thing on Twitter about too many Alabama boys or the laziness or the questioning of the Alabama boys, remember this. They got 11 rings that say national championship and 20 that say SEC on them between the 7 on our squad. That's good picking.
They're routinely a top defense nationally in total defense, and as well they should be. I wonder who's getting the best recruits in the nation to play on offense or defense.
If this was Wall Street,
it's probably
people would
Alabama.
be standing and applauding. Well done, getting them out of the Wharton Business School. Well, Alabama is the Wharton Business School of football.
Yes, it is.
Come on.
It's exactly who
You're
these
right.
people didn't. Their parents didn't pay for them to get admitted, unlike all the other stuff. These guys.
Oh
got,
no, they
Aunt
mashed
Becky.
heads. They mashed
Aunt
heads.
Becky,
to get
what are
here.
you
They
doing, Aunt
mashed.
Becky?
They earned it.
Jeez.
Aunt Becky, although
Your house ain't
They
gonna be
didn't
so
need Aunt
full no
Becky.
more, girl, because
No.
you're going to jail.
she's going to jail.
Boy.
Hey, what they say about the
Jail.
judge with Aunt Becky? Have
Have
mercy.
mercy.
Man.
Till next Tuesday night, I'm Ken Marangolo, and this was the Audible. Man, we're still live. We are still live.
And what was the other lady?